Hey, what's up? It's Deanna Jean Pierce. This is my spiritual YouTube channel, The Faith That Grows. And today I have a very important topic I want to talk about, and it's how to know you need to work with a new professional. Now, the idea for this video, the concept for it, has been sitting on my heart, in my mind, in my soul, in my consciousness for a pretty long time. I've been wanting to make this video. But the final push for it, or the final indication from reality that it was time to make this video was watching the Church of Union Sunday sermon today by Laurentine Alexandra about claiming support from professionals, essentially. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is continued conversation, riffing off of what they're saying. Riffing happens in every profession. It's very important to have continued dialogue and discussion in science, music, film, spirituality. Just keep the discussions going, keep them flowing, just because that's fun, that's life. We're flowing and we're going and we're learning and we're always going deeper together. And so this video is about how to know you need to work with a new professional. So this could be a doctor, therapist, life coach, ascension coach. If you're working, like, let's say you're a musician, you're working with a producer, any professional, a mechanic, anything. Maybe like, I don't know, someone who fixes computers. I don't know, literally any professional, okay? Any person you pay for professional advice or expertise. This is about how to know you need a new one. So when I was growing up, I had a family doctor, and he was my doctor for like most of my life. And that's, I think, kind of traditional or like old-fashioned way of doing things, where you get a doctor and that's your doctor, and you stay with that doctor for your whole life. And that can provide a deep level of comfort and stability, and it can, then they become like an extended family member or something. And there's just, the benefit of that is you can go deeper and deeper and deeper in relationship with them indefinitely. And if you manifest for yourself someone who perfectly stays aligned with your needs, wow. I'm sure it's possible. Specifically in this video, what I want to talk about though is when you know that when you need to make a change. And so the reason this is so important, there are a lot of reasons this is important. You want to always make sure you're on your highest timeline in reality. You want to make sure that core issues aren't being dramatically overlooked and bypassed. You want to save yourself time. And if you're not resonant with the people you're working with, you're not going to feel happiness and joy, because resonance and joy are really linked. So there's a term that is used usually kind of in a negative sense. It's called doctor shopping. When I looked it up today, it said it can be used in a negative sense to mean like someone's like going to try to get different prescriptions. Like I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about doctor shopping in the positive sense where you get feedback from multiple professionals, or you don't just accept what's handed to you without thoroughly thinking it through and feeling it through. Here's because the thing is, you could potentially have a situation where you're working with a professional and you're not getting any positive results that you were intending, or you're like, maybe this person is just kind of going through the motions in their profession and they're not really there to claim their Christhood and to be like a pioneer and be fully awake and conscious in what they're doing. And so you could, like I said, you could be not living your highest timeline. If you have like a therapist, say, who like you just kind of talk every week and there's not like any like okay, like what are we doing here? I kind of want to give some exact examples from my life, but I also kind of don't. I have a lot of examples of this. But suffice it to say, you don't just want to accept what you're given. Now, this is different than what's called throwing the baby out with the bathwater, which means you like chuck the whole relationship in the trash because you don't want to have conversations and you don't want to get to the bottom of things. If you talk openly with your professional that you're working with and you lay out the issues that you're seeing, you can give them an opportunity to make things right and do things differently. In my personal experience, professionals aren't that open to feedback. This is my personal experience. I've had to usually go to manifest a new person. So yeah, like, and this could truly be in anything. This could be in any profession, any area of your life. You could, for example, get misdiagnosed as one thing, and then you trust that person and you take it at face value, but it's actually like something else. Like, really, there's so many examples of this I could give from my own personal life and just from what I've heard from other people. It can be hard to have these conversations and set these type of boundaries, especially if you've had a long-standing relationship with someone and there's familiarity and trust there. They're almost like a friend or family member. But you have to watch out for yourself at the end of the day. And since we're all on a spiritual awakening process and journey, if you feel in your gut something's off, notice it and address it and bring it up. I can feel in my solar plexus right now It can be hard. Breaking up is not something just done in romantic relationships. Breaking up is something that is done in all kinds of relationships. Breaking up with your producer or your coach or your therapist or your doctor or your psychiatrist, or it can apply to any relationship. Specifically, I'm talking about professional relationships. Some things that can help is looking around and comparing. Not comparing to make yourself feel bad, but comparing. If your friend is working with a professional and they're getting certain results in certain amounts of time and you're not, you feel like you're really stagnant, don't just assume you're the problem. Address and look at the people that you've placed in positions to support you, and look at if they're actually doing their job or if they're kind of checked out and just collecting your money. And you got to learn to self-advocate, which can be hard. It's so important though. You need to make sure that the people who are supporting you have your best interests at heart, and that you can be fully honest with them about what's going on, in that there's real safety there, and there's not just comfort and familiarity. That can be cool. It's something a lot of people strive for, is comfort and familiarity. I think everyone wants that feeling, to feel comfortable, and just the sense of like, I can relax here. But be careful that you're not relaxing into an agreement that's like, at best, barely helping you, and at worst, backstabbing you. I could provide some specific examples from my personal life, but I'm gonna not do that yet, right now. But when I was talking with Spirit about this, God, to me, it's just about what feels most comfortable to say in the moment. And in that moment, it was Spirit. But yeah, I was talking to God about this before filming this video, and I pulled some tarot cards, and I got the High Priestess, which is about intuition, psychic powers and intuition. Truly, this is somebody who is with God, and she studies and she talks to God and herself, and she feels confident in her relationship with the divine. The High Priestess is someone who deepens her relationship with her gut, her solar plexus, and also her crown chakra, third eye, inner knowing, and is willing to trust the guidance she's receiving directly from her higher self and source. And the other card that came out is Judgment, which, you know, we are in the time of, some people like to call it the end of times. Some people, you know, the ascension, the awakening, the apocalypse, like, really it's about judgment days. And judgment days are something you administer upon other people and truly yourself. But you get to, so this is the second coming of Christ in all of us and every single person. And so you get to administer judgment days on the people in your life. You have that power. It doesn't come from outside of you. You get to say, this is messed up. This is bad. This is not okay. And you're fired. Or change. There's that quote, like, there's that meme on the internet, like, you're the CEO of your life. Fire, hire, and promote accordingly. So, yeah, it's important to let people know this isn't working for me. This is working for me. And don't be afraid to walk away from bad deals. Because truly, I do have direct experience of this. It can be a massive energy leak and time waste to keep investing in a relationship because you're afraid to speak up, and it's getting you literally nowhere. Now, like, if you have like a primary care physician and you go and you get your yearly exams and like everything's fine and like you're not wanting for more, everything's good. I'm not saying just like start ditching all of your relationships and like firing everyone. I'm more talking about when there's like glaringly obvious issues, like lack of progress, like you can't be honest. You got to remember you're growing as a person, and what used to be okay for you last week or last year may be totally different now. And you can, yeah, I'm getting a bit repetitive at this point. You can like have these conversations, ask for changes, but at the end of the day, then if there's no real resolution, trust your gut. It's time to trust your gut and make these judgment calls for yourself. You get to decide. Everything you get to decide. So with that being said, that's all the deeper I feel like going on this topic for now. I guess the last thing I wrote is, what are the effects of working with this professional? Like, look at, the effects in your life, the consequences of the advice you're getting, and make sure that what you're receiving is actually helpful. And it's not like detouring you or keeping you looped or stagnant or even confused. So with that being said, I just at the end of this video real quick, I want to mention that I'm offering life coaching and card readings, also a soul song report, and I will link that below. I'm not currently affiliated with any organization at this time, but I really love helping people. And if you resonate with my videos and like my style of spiritual teaching, and guidance, consider working with me. I will link that below. And the stuff I talked about in this video today is just one of the many things I could assist you with in your own life. I have actually a ridiculous amount of experiences where I've had to fire or like walk away from something, or yeah, it's it can feel like it's not a possibility, but it actually is, I promise, because there are people out there who truly have your best interests in mind and who truly want the best for you and will remain sharp and not just go through the motions, and standing up for yourself, setting these boundaries, walking away. That might be the very lesson that you called in your spiritual awakening journey to take you to the next level. So this is a necessary part of life, is weeding these things out and getting clear on all relationships in your life, personal and professional. And I hope this video helped with that. Bye.